Hey everybody, hi, welcome to Old Style Classics Baseball Cards tonight. Um, Today is May 5th, 2024, about 1:15 a.m. Couldn't get off to doing videos until later in the day, but I got a ton of stuff. And so on Old Style Classics Baseball Cards, gonna have to break these up into smaller portions for you guys to consume. But hey, thanks for watching Old Style Classic Baseball Cards. Once again, do me a favor, hit subscribe and leave comment. Like old Diver Dave's been commenting. Thank you, Diver Dave. Notify, but share this stuff with other people who like these kind of cards. And so today, we got a package from Check Out My Cards, giant box full of stuff. Talked about that in an earlier video about how there was a couple Allen & Ginter cards that I needed to get to check off my collection of different kind of Allen & Ginter cards that they do. And since I was on Check Out My Cards anyways, I figured I should order some other stuff because you know their shipping's expensive, so you want to bundle them together. It makes it a lot cheaper, and that's what I did. So I got some epic stuff. Some of the stuff for my PC, which is Andre Dawson. I got some multiple checks off my list for Allen & Ginter different kind of cards that I'm trying to get for Topps. You know, one of the different rare cards that they do, subsets and super short prints and those kind of things. I got some pre-war stuff, and I also got some new cards that are old style cards that I never even knew about. And I got a big hit that I purchased, and it's going to go along with one of my other cards, which we'll get to here in a minute. But before we get to that, I'm also going to open one more of these. We've already showed you guys a couple videos ago the little box that comes with the full set of the Volume 5 base cards. And this is the bonus pack where you get your hit, 5 minis, and 2 parallels. So we're going to do that as well. But before I get to these new cards, let me show you the recent hits that we got out of the SportKings. So this is kind of what you're going to see, the kind of stuff you're going to get out of one of these. So I'm going to move this for a moment, folks, or move it out of the way. And today we got the Brittany Bowe speed skater, piece of this uniform that she's wearing there, world champion. SportKings Volume 5 2024. Picked up 6 boxes at 2 different targets, 2 at one and 4 at another. And these are the things that you're looking for out of SportKings. And if you want the really nice stuff, then you get yourself a hobby box, and you would get yourself maybe like a Wade Boggs patch, not just a relic, but like a patch, on card autograph, just super rare, super cool looking. Their hobby stuff is really some nice stuff, but you may end up getting somebody like this with maybe like a patch, you know, like maybe one of these little stars or something she's got on her uniform with an autograph. So that's one of the risks that you do run. But that's a sweet card we picked up today. I know it's not super valuable. Neither of the ones I got so far are. She might be. I think she's Olympian. But I still think it's cool because I'm not going to see a whole lot of those. Yesterday we picked up the dog disc. So we got this girl's shirt that she wore when they won one of these trophies for dog disc. So you'll never see one of those again, and I'm okay with that on $20 plaster. Sure, I want Wade Boggs or something like that, but you know, out of 6 packs, we'll see how we do. 6 of the blasters. So you can stop that and read about that if you like. Some of the cool cards we got were this mini Ed Delante Just figured I'd pull that apart. That's like a Gaudy size compared to a modern size card. And they're cool. And I did discuss yesterday, on the last video, excuse me, that this is volume 5. So they've done 1 through 5 so far. 2024 is volume 5. But in the past, around 2009, they did like series 1, then series 2, and so on. They're basically the same exact card, except with this paper stock would be on the back as well as the front. So that's the difference. They had series, and now they've moved on to volume. So it's basically the same stuff, different players and stuff, obviously, but that's the difference between the old ones of these, which are distributed by Sage, but whatever SportKings LLC there, whoever makes these. So there are some differences, but they're about 10 years apart. But there are other sets of this same company from about a decade ago. So the blue parallels, Ed Belanti, Alan Trammell, Xander Carlin, and Ozzie Smith. So not bad. 3 baseball players on the short prints there. Alright, and the big one we got in the mail today, or yesterday, but I didn't show it till today, is Holly Holm. Got her autograph. So I grew up in Albuquerque, and so did my wife, and we went to Manzano High School, and Holly Holm also went to Manzano High School, and she's on the 2024 UFC Chrome, Topps Chrome autograph, sticker, but of Holly Holm, so I wanted to get her autograph because I've never met her in person in Albuquerque yet, but who knows, someday if she's watching this, hey Holly, would love to meet you, get a picture, or maybe a real in-person autograph would be cool. But way to go, fellow Monarch, Manzano Monarch, and I think she might have went to UNM as well, so she might be a Lobo as well. I see she shows up at the Lobo game sometimes. So epic fighter, kickboxer champ, I believe, multiple time female women's boxing champ, and the first person to ever knock out Ronda Rousey, kicked her super sore ass. And became UFC champ, and has kind of been up and down since then in UFC as she gets older, but she's still fighting, probably got some fights left in her, and who knows, maybe they'll take her to WWE someday and she can have another rivalry with Ronda Rousey and they can make that a storyline. But Holly Holm, super proud of her in Albuquerque, and also it's neat that she's fellow Manzano Monarch. So hey Holly, great job, keep up the good work, and it'd be nice to meet you sometime. Talk about old Manzano in that area, talk about where we all lived and grew up at, and all that kind of stuff. So that's super cool. Got that for a good deal. She just lost like a week ago. Got submitted in the second round, but she's just got an epic career. Just one of the best female fighters of all time in any sport, kickboxing, boxing, and MMA. So we're proud of her, and I wanted an autograph of her. Got a really good deal on this. Alright folks, let's look at a bunch of stuff from eBay, from Check Out My Cards. Now these cards I never even knew about. You guys know me, if you watch any of my videos, that I am an Allen and Ginter collector. Is part of my thing. Andre Dawson, Danica Patrick. But I love Allen and Ginter and tobacco cards and all that. One of the reasons why is I love old style classic cards, baseball cards, whatever. I like these vintage style, like tobacco style cards. Anything with that old style has kind of got my number. The first time I seen Allen and Ginter in 2006, I was just hooked. So I love those old style cards, like the old tobacco cards, because I was always fascinated with them growing up, more so than vintage, but pre-war. So Allen & Ginter's is one of my things, because I like other old style sets like the Flair Greats. I used to love that. It was an old fashioned looking design. Goodwin Champions, Panini Golden Age, Turkey Red, National Chicle, all that kind of stuff. The Kimball Champions, Gypsy Queen, all that kind of stuff. I love those cards. But when I was looking around, check out my cards to order some extra cards, because they, you know, they charge so much in shipping that I was shopping around for different stuff, and I ran across a set I never knew anything about. They're super cool. Never seen them, never heard about them, but they're right up my alley, an old style classic baseball card set. And once again, these were done by Upper Deck, and so this is the first one that I came across, so I instantly put it in my cart. And then I found some other ones, and I ordered a little stack of these cards, folks. Now, they're interesting in that the image is like of a mini tobacco card framed by a regular card, but it's not a framed card. It's just a regular standard card, but you'll see. And this is from Upper Deck, and this is 2005, I believe. So this is even before Allen & Ginter, and just beautiful cards. And that is the Upper Deck Old Judge set. So much like those Flair little round baseball cards, is kind of like an homage and tribute to the MSA discs from the 70s and 80s. So as you can see, that would be like the tobacco mini size that you would get from original Old Judge, which was like Goodwin Champion, Gypsy Queen, 1880s design. Those cards with the little ball like hanging on a string, and people in a studio pretending to play baseball or whatever. But so that is just a regular card. It's not inset in there or anything like that. It's just, that's how it's printed, with this green border. And you know, I love green because that's very baseball color, with that dark background, which reminds me of that little Recruit cigar cards. But this is more in line with the original 1800s Old Judge cards. And the first one I came across was Monty Irving, so I was like, oh, I gotta get that. That is an epically beautiful set. I guess they only did this one time, maybe a one-off, as far as I know. And that's Origins Baseball, the Upper Deck Company, card 136. So as you can see, that is just a regular card, the whole thing. And Monty Irving for the New York Giants there. So you can pause and read that. Talks about his 8-year total for the majors: 293, 366 runs, 99 home runs, 443 RBIs. But Hall of Fame because he played in the Negro Leagues as well, as far as I know. And I do have his autograph on a Leaf Cut Signature Series card. So that's just beautiful. So the minute I saw these, I went shopping around, and of course there's no Dawson in that, unfortunately for me, but just beautiful card. I had to pick this up. So let me set that aside. So then, some of the other stuff I picked up while shopping, because this set does have vintage players, more along those vintage lines. and modern players at the time. So the next one is the Ernie Banks. So Old Judge, yeah, 2005 Origins Baseball, the Upper Deck Company, Ernie Banks, Chicago Cubs, Old Judge. So no chipping on that one. That's a beautiful card. We'll be seeing some more of Ernie here in a minute. So you can pause that, read that, see if we can get any zoom here on that small print for those who like to read that stuff. So if we can refocus this camera here. So if you can read that stuff. And there's his write-up and his 512 home run total there. Hall of Famer Ernie Banks, Mr. Cub, my favorite team, the Cubbies. So beautiful stuff. So took them out of these top loaders, so we'll put those back eventually. And then at the time, one of my favorite players, not a Chicago Cub, but I believe pretty much a fan favorite in baseball all around. That is Mr. Ichiro Suzuki. So a 2005 Ichiro card there. That's a cool looking card, kind of the sepia look or old school look. And it's got the cardboard background, which you know I like those. Just the typical cardboard instead of the glossy backs. I'm a fan of that. So you can see his stats up to that point in time. So this is playing career card. So that's just 4 years into his career there. Ichiro Suzuki, Ichiro. So that is awesome. We love Ichiro. Around here, got to pick me up an Ichiro autograph. Then I got a couple special cards. As you know, in the early 2000s, mid 2000s, one of the big things at the time was doing relics. And so this set also had relic cards. I'm sure they had autographs, but I haven't seen one yet. But there we go. One of my favorite Cubs pitchers from back in the day, Mr. Kerry Wood. Now he's not in the Hall of Fame, but look at that piece of his blue Cubs uniform there, and that's when Upper Deck had the license, obviously. And even though he's not a Hall of Famer, he'll always be a fan favorite in Chicago in the Cubs circles, but he'll also be known for his rookie year 20 strikeout game, which was a huge deal, like 20 strikeouts, and homage to a Cub pitcher doing great, like our new pitcher from Japan, who's just tearing it up right now, 4-0, sub, like 0.95 ERA, won every game he started. So, good old Kerry Wood there with the nice blue Cubs patch, so not just plain old white. So let's see what we got here. So Old Judge Kerry Wood, congratulations, you received a game-used jersey card from the Upper Deck Company. On the front of this card is an authentic piece of jersey worn by Kerry Wood in an official Cubs Major League Baseball game. We hope you enjoyed this piece of Major League Baseball history. The Upper Deck Company continues to keep you as close as you can get. So it kind of sticks out a little bit. It's got a little bump there, as you can see. But that's epic. That's sweet. So before I move on, I'm going to put this one back in its special top loader for those thicker cards. And then we'll get to another one. Alright, bear with me, folks. Put Kerry Wood back in here. And I don't think I had any Kerry Wood relics or autographs or anything like that, so that's sweet to get Kerry Wood on one. And this next card, right along the lines of this, is epic. Now, the relic's not as good, but it's cool because one of the great Cubs pitchers of the time. Just talking about a new Cubs pitcher. Let's talk about another classic Cubs pitcher, more known for another team, but he's recently been on my channel a lot. And there you go, Greg Maddux, relic, but as a Cub. So this was probably the second time around as a Cub. Just beautiful image, beautiful cards. Just gotta love that baseball green, kind of that forest green or British racing green or hunter green, whatever they call it. Just simple relic, but still, of our boy Greg Maddux, Hall of Famer, 300 plus winner. And so an old Judge, Greg Maddux, same thing, congratulations, blah blah blah. On the front of this card is authentic piece of jersey worn by Greg Maddux, an official Cubs Major League Baseball game. So these are just cool, people. I'm gonna have to keep looking and see what else is in this set. Gonna go on the Baseball Cardpedia and look at the checklist. Who knows, maybe Dawson is in this set, it just wasn't anyone selling one. So I'll have to look at that, you know, typical thickness on the relic with that little bump where that relic goes. But that is awesome to get a relic, another relic from a different company other than Topps of Greg Maddux, Hall of Famer, and as a Cub. We just recently showed you the very first Greg Maddux card as a Major League Baseball player on the Chicago Cubs team set, 1987 David Berg Wrigley Field giveaway cards. So I showed you that recently, and in 2023 Allen and Ginter picked up the Greg Maddux mini framed relic card, his baseball bat of all things, which is funny to get a pitcher's bat relic. And it's funny, at the Silicon Valley card show, the guy was selling one of the same mini framed Greg Maddux relics from last year's Ginter, and it was a bat relic too, so we had a good old time talking about that. So there you go, folks. Is that not some sweet stuff? I never knew anything about this set. Of course, love old Judge. It'd be great if the Upper Deck did, since they kind of given up on Goodwin Champions being an old school set, and now Gypsy Queen is gone. It'd be cool if old Upper Deck, you know how they did Goodwin Champions, was very Allen and Ginter like, or Gypsy Queen like, but more Allen and Ginter, I would say, just because of the odd stuff they put in it. Is if Upper Deck would kind of do similar what Topps is doing, since they didn't keep this set and Goodwin Champions isn't what it used to be, is do an exclusive old Judge, like an online exclusive, and just do like minis, like these old Judge mini size cards, and do those kind of like Topps is doing Topps 206 nowadays, something like that. Or bring a set that you can buy that's just minis, and maybe bring this product back, because that is awesome. I love that. So that is my little group of old Judge that picked up from old Check Out My Cards. Alright, so talked about Ernie Banks. I almost forgot about this card. I was about to go right into the pack. So we'll put Ernie out here. There's Monty again. Gotta put those back in the top loaders. So one of the things I want to talk about is Ernie Banks. Alright, where did I do with that card? Sorry, folks. Oh, here we go. I want to talk about Ernie Banks because a couple months back, I told you the story how I went to that Legends for Lobos baseball game where I met Bob Gibson, Frank, and Joe Torre and got them to sign my ball. Ernie Banks was at that game, was kind of rushed off to the airport because he had somewhere else to be, so I didn't get to meet him. That was a big disappointment for me, not getting to meet Ernie Banks, one of my favorite Cubs. So all these years later, I found an epic Ernie Banks autograph card because, you know, I like old school baseball cards, and I love oddball, food issue, product issue cards. I'm just hooked on those kind of cards. So I found me an Ernie Banks, which in the early 90s or the 90s, they did a lot of these kind of things, either with Jimmy Dean and certain products you could order autograph cards from. And the one that I found that I thought was super cool was the Canadian Club. And there's an Ernie Banks authentic autograph card that they did for Canadian Club whiskey. And they come with that little certificate of authenticity with this one here. So I thought it was just super cool. One, it's product issue, but just being an alcohol card, I thought that was really cool because it's a really classy looking card. And I like the fact that it's something kind of way out there being liquor. So that card I picked up. You know, I always thought maybe I'd get him in like Cooperstown collection or something from Panini. But you know, he's gone now, so you're not gonna see any new stuff. So this card, I was like, yeah, that's the one I want, even over the Jimmy Dean or any of that stuff. This card is super cool. But there's another Cub, because I did pick up the Ferguson Jenkins out of Cooperstown. Got a couple Goose Gossages. I do need Lee Smith. But there's another Chicago Cub great that I need to get to go along with this card. Much like if you needed Willie Mays, if you had Willie Mays autograph, which is the Giants. Screen just froze up, people. Alright. So if you were in the Giants, your main guy would be Willie Mays, like Ernie Banks is to the Cubs. And you would need Willie McCovey to go with Willie Mays. So who would you need for the Cubs for the same thing? None other than his home run hitting partner in crime. I'm going to take it out of the top loader. Anyone got a guess? Hey, while you're at it, please subscribe, like, leave comments. Tell me what you think of these cards. And of course, people, I'm talking about Billy Williams. So that's another one of the Cub Hall of Famer greats that I needed on card. And of course, I'm going to pick up the Canadian Club if I have to choose, because these are just epically beautiful cards. Got a little foil lifted up there with a little gold border there around the black. You know, if you can get black to stay in good shape, just really beautiful cards. And there you go, Mr. Billy Williams. Now this doesn't come with a certificate of authenticity like the Ernie Banks did. That's okay, because we know this set is an autograph set. So this little thing right here is actually separate from the card. So this should have one, but it doesn't. And the back of the Ernie Banks card would be like this with his stats. But nevertheless, now you get to take a look at Billy Williams' career there. And he was our Willie McCovey to Willie Mays. The Cubs now 426 home runs. So that's 8 less than Andre Dawson. But most of these were with the Cubs. Played in Oakland a few years there, 3. But otherwise, all Cubs. 290 batting average. 88 triples, 434 doubles, 2,711 hits, So very similar stats to, like, say, Andre Dawson. But there you go. That's Series 1. Number 4, Billy Williams. Canadian Club on card. And I know most people are, they like blue autographs. I'll be honest with people, I'm not a big fan of blue ink, even though I love the color blue. You know? And I know they pop a little more. But for the classy sake of it, I prefer black myself. So, one I got, so a matching pair here. So the 2 Chicago Cubs greats in this set. And they're both on card and both in black ink. So I'm super happy with that, because if this was just a blue ink one and black ink one, it would be fine. But I like how these two will balance each other out. So the 2 great Cub home run hitter teammates at the time. Obviously not as many home runs as old Willie and Willie, but you know what I'm saying. So that's epic. That's beautiful. So we did good today, people, with these old style classic baseball cards. So not only did I get a new set of old style classic cards I didn't know anything about, just beautiful set that I didn't know about. So it's funny that you're always learning something new in baseball card collecting. But I also get Hall of Famer, Chicago Cub, on card, black ink, classic design, classic vintage player, old style classic, and it's an oddball nonetheless. And you know me, I love oddball cards, so that is sweet, people. So I am super stoked to have that in my collection. So now let's just do one of these, just to have a little something extra to show. Got to see that Holly Holm card again there, so that's good. And let's see if we get any pack number 3 of 6. Can we get an autograph? You know, if I got one autograph out of those 6, that would be sweet, no matter who it is. And or if we're gonna get a relic, if we got a baseball player, it would be pretty sweet. But more the baseball and all that kind of stuff, probably more likely in hobby. So I'm not gonna hold my breath. Probably end up with similar what I have, but if we got an autograph, that would be sweet. So this time I'm going to start out with these blue parallels. So Nastia Lukin. So gymnast there. Got a little overshadowed during the Olympics she was in, but still great Olympian. So Nastia. So that's cool, the blue little short print variation. And there you go, the college version of Barry Sanders there. So those are beautiful cards. I love that blue on blue. That's kind of cool. So the Barry Sanders, everything's basically the same except the front of the card. And then we're going to move on to our mini cards here. Alright, this one's pretty cool. David Foster, who is one of those like lumberjack competition dudes, wood chopping. So that's cool. I still haven't come across the parallel on these minis, so I don't know if they do the parallels on the minis anymore. They used to. At least I believe they did, unless I'm conflating that with the upper deck versions. Chris Mullen, shooting. I think Diver Dave mentioned this card. Alright, another, hey, Vinny Testaverde, hey. Our buddy Vinny Testaverde there, looking like he's with Miami or in college. Alright. That's pretty cool. EC3, I'm not familiar with him, but he's a professional wrestler. So, still pretty cool. So you read about him, and I don't even know Ethan Carter the third, so I'm not too sure. Oh, I get it, EC3. Ethan Carter the third. Don't remember him from TNA or any of that, but he was going by the name Derek Bateman, so still that doesn't ring a bell. And then of course Nastia Lukin, so same yellow background there. So many no baseball in this one around, but that's okay. Nice to get these minis. Alright, then our hit I haven't looked at. See the back, we don't know what the front is, and oh wow. So we got another Brittany Bowe, but this one is numbered 48 of 50, so that's pretty cool. So at least we did get a repeat hit, but at least this one's going to be numbered, and it's a complete, so it's a red. So SportKings, once again, there's the dog. First one that we picked up yesterday, we got, or earlier tonight, we got this one, and now to boot, we got the 48 of 50. So that's cool. Another feels exactly the same. That's cool, a little red, so they did change these up a bit. And that's sweet. So you have received SportKings Volume 5 memorabilia card. The front of this card features a piece of speed suit worn by Brittany Bowe. During an official race, Brittany has set the 100-meter, 1,000-meter world record multiple times during her career. Blah, blah, blah. So everything else is basically the same except the color. So that's sweet. We got a stamped numbered card, so that's pretty cool. To go along with it, Billy Williams autograph card there, folks. So once again, hey, we're going to cut it off there. I don't want to carry on too long. Let me just get one more of these to show you folks. So let's go Kerry Wood. Give him a little time in the limelight there. Alright, folks. Thanks for watching old style classic baseball cards and other sports cards and whatnot. There we go. A lot of Cubs today. Thanks for watching. And we'll be back and decide what I want to show you later today. Alright, everybody. Thanks for watching. See ya.